Good day to all of you, the viewers of Poland Daily Culture. We continue with the topic of faith, but also of changing the Catholic Church in Poland. Here with us is Jacek Weigl, the author of a project, Apostolic Faith Movement. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
And in the previous episode, we talked a little bit more about the Apostolic Faith Movement and the idea of this project and the fruits of which it is bringing here in Poland in Catholic Church. But let us talk a little bit more of the Awakening Project, which is part of it. And as I understand, it's devoted to children and has a lot to do with singing. As I observed you a little bit, I would say it looks like a little bit like a concert or a Protestant church. Sorry, but there are elements of it. A very, very cheerful, very easy to take part in it. But how did you start it, and what's the idea?
We love young generation. We really are devoted to the youth, to the teenagers who really want to express. And their way of expressing is different than the people in my age. And I have to understand the change of culture. The gospel is not changing. It is the same. It is fundamental. But the way we present it, the way we express love to God is different. We can see in Pope Francis how he expressed love of God. We see in all different people, different ways of expressing. That's why Awakening Project is this music worship team who express it with young generation. We invite every month different young people. They are worshiping with flags. You will see a lot of life in it. Different flags has different meaning for them. They express playing different, for instance, drums, guitar, electric guitar. So they are having a different style because, for instance, 60% of Polish children are listening to rap. Why not to use rap to preach the gospel?
Of course.
I have a lot of friends who are changing life because of the rap. Their life is rap. Why not to ask them, well, if your life has changed, you were taking drugs and now you can preach how not to do it and how through the rap your life has changed. Your story is more motivational than mine, than teachers, than pedagogues. That's why I hire 10 rappers who are changing the culture. They are going to different schools, primary schools like 6, 7, 8 grades, and high school, and they are sharing motivational talk, how to change the life of drinking to be the person who can be alive and be really happy without it. It is real. That's why we are trying to put energy to change the culture through the music, which is very common and very touching to the young generation.
So just to explain to our viewers, basically you are showing that we can worship God through music, for dancing, for singing, for waving flags, for doing rap, the other forms of music, not only the sacral, typical music which is in churches. It is also a way and a how to pray, the form of prayer, and it's not worse than other form of prayers. And it can be beautiful and can involve and get more into the world of children.
Yes, because especially young generation is emotional. They feel. If they don't feel, they don't understand it. We can have a lot of lecture, we like to understand everything, but knowing God in Hebrew doesn't mean understand. It means really experience. Like Adam experienced Eve, and they had child. This kind of experience, it is knowing God. Knowing God is experience His closeness, His help, His word which attracts your life and change your life. And children and youth needs experience with God to really believe that He exists, that He can answer their prayers, that He can answer in their crisis, that He can show them the goal of life. That's why through music we are trying to attract children and young generation and show them that we respect their way of loving God through music. We are putting money that they will have all orchestra. They can meet once a month. Whole Saturday will be for them. They can paint, they can learn how to flag, how to express through dance, worship God. We are limited in our understanding. We have to really broaden our area of understanding to understand next generation and really serve them, because without them, our church will die. And Jesus was very focused on the young generation. He told 12 disciples, only Peter had 20-some years, because only for the Peter he paid a tax in Jerusalem. You know, others were teenagers. So if we don't focus on...
So the apostles were teenagers?
11 of them, probably yes.
Interesting, I didn't know about it. So that's the message for young people, especially right now when we see the crisis in church, which there's less and less young people who take part in masses. A new form, awakening projects. If you are interested, go online, find them, and maybe you can also take part. And thank you very much for being with us and watching Poland Daily Culture.